It's gonna be a good day. Hello, St. Rose. Thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of St. Rose Rocks music for the Golden Knights by the Golden Knights. And boy, do I got a special Golden Knight for you guys today. I have drummer, singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, producer, Josh Morris. Josh, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. What an awesome setup that you have. That's your basement back home, right?
Yeah. This is my basement. I'm currently sitting at my streaming/gaming desk. I got another desk for my studio behind me. I don't know if you can. If I move over. Nope. If I move over here, kind of like it's in the back there. So that's my little studio area. My parents were nice enough to let me kind of take over the basement because they don't spend too much time down here. So my little setup, got my Christmas lights behind me. Not sure. It's not
very
Christmas.
pretty.
Yeah. Thank you.
Not a problem. You mentioned gaming. You said that you're really getting into that. You were telling me before you even made like a whole new gaming computer.
Yeah, so I've always kind of been a gaming nerd for sure. I've been playing Xbox like my whole life. I kind of wanted to join the what my cousin calls the master race of gaming, known as PC gaming. I've heard a lot about it, and up until this point, I had never really played any games on the PC. So I just kind of sprung one day, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna build my own PC. And I had a friend that was helping me with it because I had absolutely no idea how to go about it. So he gave me a list of things that I needed to buy. He helped me build it last weekend, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, and I'm trying to get into the YouTube gaming community, streaming and stuff like that. So yeah.
Nice. Is there a place people should go watch your streams, or are you at that place yet?
I'm not really at that place yet. I've done a couple things through Mixer with Xbox, but that's not. I'm gonna eventually. You can't see the person in the way that I do it for Mixer. So I'm gonna set up a YouTube gaming channel and kind of go through all that stuff because I'm really influenced by Markiplier. I'm not sure if you know who that is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's a very famous YouTube gamer. So I watch a lot of his videos, and I've been in love with his stuff ever since.
Just his voice.
His voice is
you can
so,
fall in love with.
Yeah, dude, he's just got such a deep voice, you know. So yeah, but he's really funny, and I just I know I get a lot of joy out of gaming and watching other people play games. So I'm gonna try my hand at it and see what happens.
So Josh, can you tell us about the first song that you're going to be showing us today?
Yeah, so the first song I'm gonna show you is called Light Pollution. It is from my senior project, My Old Soul, and I wrote it the summer of 2018, I think. And I wrote this song to get over someone that I had feelings for that I know I wasn't really allowed to have feelings for. Not that I wasn't allowed, but I shouldn't have feelings for this person. So I kind of used this song as a means to fall out of love, I guess. Not by any means a sad song, but it is a very important song to me and also the person that I wrote it about. So
very cathartic, it sounds.
Yes, extremely, very cathartic, very necessary in the time of my life I wrote it. So yeah,
songs like that are extremely necessary, and who knows,
yes.
Maybe somebody out there right now needs to be hearing this song. So
that's awesome.
For all you guys out there watching St. Rose Rocks right now, this is Light Pollution by Josh Morris.
My heartbeat is on pause these days. So far away from ever-present play. And all of these places and faces change. I can name one that will always stay the same. It's happening quite fast, it seems. It's happening quite fast, it seems. And even when it's dark, you can never see the stars. No. Light pollution.
come from, I don't know, but I'm glad that you showed. Yeah, it's a long summer to be alone, and I was afraid that I'd forgotten how to trust. I don't wanna be in love, no, I just wanna have our fun. So maybe when you go away, you'll come back someday, and we can be much more than we are today. Oh yeah, yeah, it's happening quite fast, it seems. It's happening quite fast, it seems. And even when it's dark, you can never see the stars. No, no, no. Light pollution. A stargazer, where have you been? The freckled eyes make you hard to forget. By now you're probably back in his arms, holding out for a year is so hard. What a wonderful high. I focused on the climb, and now I'm scared of the dive. Well, oh my, what a wonderful high. I focused on the climb, and now I'm scared of the dive. It's happening quite fast, it seems. It's happening quite fast, it seems. And even when it's dark, you can never see the stars. No, no, no. Light pollution.
So, Josh, we've been having a lot of people on talking about their senior projects recently, and you were able to do yours in the fall semester, and it went great. My Old Soul is the name of the album, and honestly, some really good songs off that track, and you had some great friends and great musicians on it as well. Came off great. Can you tell us a little bit of how you got the process started? Where did this album come from?
It kind of came from a lot of pain and darkness and stress, but it also came from a lot of love and friendship and positivity. There's a lot of different emotions within those songs. I think all of those songs were pretty much written either my sophomore or junior year of college, and one of the songs was actually written for the album. I wanted to get a new song because my songwriting's kind of changed over my college career. So I put that on there last minute. It was a lot of fun, man. You know, that's the reason kind of why I went to St. Rose, is because when they tell you that you get to record your own album your senior year, I mean, what's cooler than that? It was a lot of fun to record it. It was a huge learning curve. I had never done everything by myself before. You know, I learned a lot. I cried a lot. I stressed a lot. I laughed a lot. I had a lot of good times with my friends that helped me with the album and recorded on it as well. So I'm super proud of it. I haven't released it yet just because it's one of those things. I'm going to release it eventually. I think I'm going to take my favorite songs off of it and kind of release an EP. I was so stressed out the day of. I swear to God, I was like having heart palpitations every like 5 minutes. I'm glad that it's over, but I'm glad that I got to do it. So.
No, that's fantastic. And I'm with you on the senior project. I'm proud of mine. I haven't released mine yet. It's just not the right time. And I feel you on that. So a couple shows ago, we had your bandmate Zane on from Hasty Page. And I asked him the same question. What was it like working on this under your name rather than as a band?
It was a very different experience. You know, the night. So this is kind of like I don't even know what this is. This is just a little tidbit of information. The night before my senior project, before my senior playback, Zane and I were just kind of chilling out in my room, and we were listening to each other's projects, and we were kind of just talking about the day ahead, and how kind of stressed we were and how excited we were. We both came to realize that Zane didn't play a lick of guitar on my senior project. Not one song. I was like, why is that? And he's like, well, I mean, I was doing my senior project, and I was like, well, yeah, but I played a bunch of drums on yours, and now I just feel really bad because you're not on my senior, and you're a much better guitar player than I am. Why did I play all the guitars when you definitely should have done that? And he's like, well, you're not a bad guitar player. And I was like, well, yeah, but it was just really funny. And we didn't realize it until like the last minute. And it's just because we were both so freaking busy. Like, it was one of those things where, we were so stressed out and we were just kind of listening to each other's stuff. We both kind of sat there and just thought about like the Hasty Page as a thing. And we're like, it's a little bit different doing it by yourself. It's scary as hell doing anything by yourself, because you're really putting yourself out there. But it was kind of freeing in a way. Not that there's any limitations in Hasty Page, because we feel very confident that there aren't any barriers in music, and there aren't any when it comes to genre or whatever production. We like to take risks. But it was a totally different thing just doing it with your own music, because we had worked together on Hasty Page stuff for such a long time, and this was just coming from and that's kind of a scary thing. At least I kind of felt a little alone in the process. I was like, oh, it's just me and my guitar and my words, and I hope people like it.
It strips you down.
It strips you down, and you're kind of naked at that point. It's cool to know that when Zane and I write music separate of each other, it doesn't sound like Hasty Page. The songwriting tactics and the way that we go about writing music outside of Hasty Page is totally different than the way we do it in Hasty Page. We tried our best just to be ourselves and kind of let the music speak to us as individuals instead of us as a group.
No, and that's very fair, and I hope that you're able to get something out of that. A lot of education, a lot of inner learning, and also,
sure.
You and Zane, no hard feelings about what happened on it. It's like that's kind of funny they're able to realize that. I was like, oh dang, what did I do? It was just
so weird. Yeah, it was like, dude, I can't believe you're not on my album. I mean, he definitely helped me with mixing it, and we helped each other a lot along the way, but yeah, it was weird. I couldn't believe it.
Hey, as you said, he was still a part of the process, and you guys still mean so much to each other. So
yeah,
you guys will always have that. That's awesome.
Yes, for sure.
So obviously you have Hasty Page, as we were saying, you and Zane. What kind of Hasty Page projects are going on? And you also work with Dark Honey, Girl Blue, Julia Gargano. You're a pretty busy and in-demand guy. What's it like working with everybody to the extent that you do?
It's a dream come true, man. Since day one, I kind of wanted to be the person that people went to for help. Hasty Page, I was in bands before Hasty Page, but yeah, Hasty Page first and foremost. The three of us started in high school, worked our way up to college. It's just kind of second nature, the three of us working together now. So there's a couple cool things happening with Hasty Page that I can't really talk about right now.
Darn.
I know. Yeah, it's kind of out of my control, but I will say for Hasty Page alone, a lot of cool things are happening.
That's awesome.
A lot is up in the air right now, but a lot of cool things have just recently come our way. We're excited. We're scared. We're nervous about the future, but we're looking forward to it. So, well, we also are in the process of mapping out our next EP that may or may not be under the name Hasty Page. It might be under a new name, so I can tell you that. We've been talking about rebranding for a long time now, and I think it's a good step to take, considering that we dragged Hasty Page through college all the way from high school, and maybe it's time for a change. The three of us are as close as ever, and we're still talking and making music, and it's a beautiful thing. So that's Hasty Page. Moving on to Dark Honey. Love those guys with all my heart. Just as Hasty Page is, we're family. It's really nice to be part of these different groups because they're family. It feels good to be a part of a family that isn't just your own. Dark Honey, we actually have an album coming out July 10th is the album release date for the new Dark Honey album. There are 13 tracks. and it's going to be really, really cool. I'm excited for everybody to hear it. Yeah, I've been in the band for almost 2 years now. They're a little older than me. I think everybody in the band just actually turned 30 this year. So I learn a lot from those guys, and it's really fun to just kind of be under their wing of influence, kind of, just see how they live life. And they're all amazing musicians and amazing people. So glad to be a part of that. And then the girlfriend of the singer of Dark Honey, Jimmy, Ariel, Girl Blue, we are actually going into the studio with her this Friday to record some stuff. Not much more I can say on that, but it's going to be very exciting. And then last, but absolutely not least, Julia Gargano. We just recorded some music with her, and that is going to be coming out, I'm not sure when, but soon probably. Like I said before, I'm very blessed to work with so many great people and kind of get the experience that I, am gracefully bestowed upon, I guess. People are just so talented, and especially these people that I'm working with, and I learned so much from them, and I just have so many great experiences from just being around them. It really makes me a better musician and a better person to just kind of be working with all these people.
God bless you, man. That's awesome that you're able to keep
Thanks,
yourself that busy and that you have those opportunities. Can you tell us now where it all began? What was the initial influences and inspirations that you have of just being a musician in general?
Oh, man. Another loaded question.
That's what I do here.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's so in depth. The first musical memory that I have, it's not even a memory. It's a feeling I get when I hear a certain song. You know the band Live? So they have a song called Lakini's Juice that was released the year I was born. And I remember my parents telling me maybe, 10, 15 years ago, they told me that I was in the womb. They brought me in the womb to a live concert, the band Live. And all through that entire song, I was just like kicking my mom the whole time in her stomach. Every time that song comes on, I get this kind of weird sensation in my body. Like, oh, it's almost like deja vu, like nostalgia. Like I've heard this before. If that's even a memory, I don't really know. But my first real memory of music is me just kind of banging on pots and pans with spoons while my uncle played electric guitar. And we would do that like every day. I lived with my aunt and uncle and my parents for a little while. Yeah, I just remember that vividly. Just, I always wanted to play the drums because they were loud and I was loud and I'm still loud. Yeah, and it just seemed like a fit, man. It just seemed like the drums were the thing that made me happy. I've been playing drum sets since I was 5. So yeah, that it kind of just all started with that. I started playing the drums. I listen to music every day. Even still, like, I can't live without music. I'm genuinely depressed when music is not playing, or if I'm not playing music. It's really important to me. Throughout high school, I kind of taught myself how to play guitar and write music, and then fast forward to St. Rose, it just grew from there. So music has always been a part of me, and I've always had a range of different influences. I grew up listening to punk rock and metal and stuff like that, and then I gradually got into alternative rock and jazz and more pop stuff, and then classical. I've always just been a very musically guided person, I guess.
So Josh, can you tell us about the second song that you're going to be showing us today?
So yeah, the next song I'm going to be showing you today is a song called I Was Nothing. And that song was the one, actually I said earlier, the one that I recorded for my senior project. I wrote it for my senior project. I was kind of heading in a different direction in my songwriting. There was kind of a shift there while I was writing my senior project, and I kind of wanted to experiment with some different kind of sounding songs. So I wrote this one, and it's kind of the only song along this, I don't know if I'd say genre, but along this plane, I guess, that I've written. So yeah, really excited about this one. I'm really happy with the recording. Might be a single here or something.
Ooh.
Yeah. So yeah,
a little St. Rose Rocks exclusive at an early single, possibly.
Yes.
Heck yes.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this here is I Was Nothing by Josh Morris.
all began with some great will to take a stand. I was fighting hard, yeah, there was blood on my hands. It takes a lifetime to forget where you have been, and then when you're gone, your words will carry on. And then all of a sudden, I was left with nothing. I was feeling nothing. I was nothing. So I hold on to life as if I'm living it again. But inside my head, I've always been dead. And I never thought that I could get away with it. I was loved too hard and carried way too far. And then all of a sudden, I was left with nothing. I was feeling nothing. I was. And then all of a sudden, I was left with nothing. I was feeling nothing. I was I was feeling nothing, holding on to something, and now it's gone. Now it's gone. And then all of a sudden, I was giving something. I was feeling something. I was. And then all of a sudden, I was giving something. I was feeling something. I was living.
So, Josh, you were telling me before you had a really funny and interesting story when it comes to the COVID-19 pandemic and Hasty Page. Something interesting happened timing-wise. Can you go into that for us, please?
So March 11th, 2016 was the day that we released our first EP, The Coming of Age. About 2 years after that, we did it through TuneCore, and then we switched to CD Baby. For our distributors. Our TuneCore account got shut down for some reason. I have no idea what happened, and we couldn't get it back up. So anything that was on that TuneCore account in terms of music just kind of got deleted from the internet. Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. So the EP got taken down. You know, at the time we were like, it's kind of old and immature in terms of songwriting and stuff like that. So, why bother even putting it back up? Because it's going to cost money and blah, blah, blah. So we just didn't. And then we had a lot of people in the time that followed. They were like, oh, what happened to your EP? Why is it not on Spotify or Apple Music anymore? And we'd have to be like, oh, well, TuneCore shut it down or whatever. And we figured maybe, we're almost out of college. Time is running short. We haven't released music in a little while. Why don't we just re-release the EP? Because people want to hear it and it's kind of nostalgic. The 4-year anniversary of the EP coming out, we released it. It just so happened to be the same day as COVID shutting down the college, so March 11th, 2020, we re-released our EP, and the school shut down because of COVID. So yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
What an
Interesting enough.
interesting time. But hey, people
Yeah.
had it to listen while they're stuck in their houses.
Exactly, and that's what I said.
And speaking of timing it with everything, you've been keeping yourself very busy with everything during this COVID-19 time frame. You know, it's like you have a little more time on your hands and you've taken
sure.
up some new projects. Can you tell everybody the projects that you've been working on during this time?
Yeah, so it took me about, I don't know, a month or 2 months to get my studio up and running in the way that I wanted it to. I had a pretty complex, well, not complex, but a pretty ridiculous view in my mind of how I wanted everything to work. Over here to the left of me, I have my drum set up, and I purchased some new microphones. I bought this WA87, and then I bought some Rode NT5s as overheads. Been investing in a lot of studio equipment, and the ways that I've been able to afford stuff like that, I've been doing remote drum tracking for people, and it's been really fun. It's something I've always wanted to do. Definitely I've always wanted to be a session drummer. It's, good money, and I love recording drums. I love playing drums, and it just kind of made sense to do. And yeah, just been, making little advancements, taking baby steps to kind of get myself out there as a producer, engineer, and session drummer, most importantly. Got to start somewhere, and it's good to make the connections early on so that, people keep coming back and looking for you to do some work for them. It's really just important to build those relationships along the way. I mean, those, the relationships I have with people through music are going to be lifelong relationships, and that's really important to me is making friends and having good relationships with people. So,
amen. No, that sounds great. Josh, this has been absolutely fantastic to have you on St. Rose Rocks. I'm so happy to have you, dude. Where can people go check out your music or anything you're really affiliated with?
So you can go on to Spotify or Apple Music and listen to Hasty Page. We have 3 albums up there now and some singles. And then you can also check out Dark Honey on Spotify, Bandcamp, Apple Music. Same with Girl Blue. Go check out Girl Blue on all those sites. Same with Julia Gargano. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to be releasing some of my solo stuff here pretty soon once the COVID crisis is over, and once I feel motivated enough to do that. You can also check out my YouTube channel. It's called Hefty Lefty right now, but I'm going to change it to Josh Morris because I think I'm going to make a separate gaming YouTube channel and call that Hefty Lefty. It just makes a little more sense. You can also check out my music Facebook page, just Josh Morris. Check out Hasty Page on Facebook, Dark Honey, Girl Blue, Julia Gargano. You can find us anywhere on the web.
And don't worry, it will all be in the bio.
You're the best, man.
No problem. Again, Josh, this has been awesome. It's been so cool catching up, and awesome to hear that things have been going well. Thanks so much for spending the time to be on this with us.
Of course, man. Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of St. Rose Rocks. As always, I got to thank the Student Association, Student Development, College Marketing Team, and the college in general. This has been an incredible journey that I've been able to take with so many artists and so many of you guys. Thank you for your support. You guys are the reason why St. Rose rocks. I'm glad we get to spend some time.